Why should anybody do lean? In today's episode, I'm going to talk about just that. So welcome to today's episode of Business Success with Doug Barra. So I was thinking about what I was going to say in this week's episode and what I wanted to talk about with lean. And what came to me is, why lean? And I kind of got this idea from an interesting video that we were watching from Paul Akers. One of the things that we've adopted in our lean journey, because we're on this lean journey and we're still very early on, and we've only been doing it for a couple of months, is that we're watching videos from Paul Akers about lean and how he and other businesses are implementing lean. And one of the things to understand about lean, all right, and if you might have heard it said in other ways, you might have heard Six Sigma, you might have heard Kaizen, you may have heard about Kanbans, and all of those are ways of looking at lean or ways of talking about lean, which is a concept that started in Japan from the Toyoda family, who are the owners and creators of Toyota, the car, and also a number of other things that they manufacture. As a matter of fact, they started manufacturing looms, of all things. But their concept is what started this whole concept of lean and creating the lean culture. And if you go to Japan, you'll see that it is a culture. It's an entire Japanese culture around how do we do things that are more efficient and easier and just make life more fun and more enjoyable. All right? So that is the ultimate why lean. And I want to play you a little clip, and this is just a little tiny clip. It's about 2 minutes long, from one of the videos that we watched recently from Paul. And just to set it up, what's going on is there is a conference of manufacturers, and Paul has been asked to be a keynote speaker, but he was the keynote speaker the year before, so he said, no, I'm not going to do a keynote speech. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to a number of different business owners that I've been connected with because of lean, ask them if they would be willing to come and do a panel discussion with me. So that's the setup of what it is. And there's so much just amazing stuff in this video. It's an hour long, so obviously I am not playing you the whole video. I'm just going to play you this one little 2-minute clip. And the main key I want you to get out of this is we want your mind. So let's play that clip.
We don't look at it as just lean. We look at it as it changing the culture of our company. And whether it's a $50,000 engineer or it's an $8 an hour employee, the joy of somebody saying, hey, I made an improvement. I found something that was bugging me or that frustrates me, and I figured out a way, or me and Nick found a way to fix this. It makes people's lives better. It makes them excited to come to work. They have a choice every day. Sean says this every day. You have a choice of walking through that door. You can walk through any door you want. You don't have to come through Viking Plastics door. If you come through that door, if you make that choice, we want your mind. We don't want you to work super, super hard. If you want to go to the YMCA and work out, right? We want your mind. We want you finding ideas, fixing things that bug you, and the joy that people have by making those accomplishments keeps them coming back.
And you talk about people in your company that were completely quiet, withdrawn, and now are coming up with awesome ideas.
Yeah, so one of the key steps in the daily drumbeat in the morning meeting is you talk about sales and delivery. And so, for 2-3 months, we talked about our sales yesterday were $38,738.14, and our on-time delivery was 94.67%. Okay, so we did that for 2.5 months. And all of a sudden, my IT guy, who didn't really want to go to these meetings and really doesn't participate as much as we would like, comes back.
He will eventually.
Oh, yeah, and he started to. And he came back and said, I've got a 2-second improvement. Yeah, what's your 2-second improvement? My 2-second improvement is we're running these meetings 4 times a day. Nobody cares how many pennies we sold. Why don't we just call it $38,000 and we're 94% on-time delivery? That kind of gets the point, right?
And that is a 2-second improvement. That is all we want people to do, is when you start thinking this way, then the opportunities are just like they're swirling around you everywhere.
So you can see that this whole concept is not about, I want to make my business better. Your business gets better. But it's about making sure that our team is getting better. Not our business is getting better. Our team is getting better. And they're growing. And they're having a life that matters to them, that is enjoyable, and they're growing. And this is so foreign from what, maybe we've all understood. Because I think every one of us has probably had a job at some point where we were like, I'm a cog in a wheel and I'm just showing up for my paycheck. And I always hated that, right? I always made sure that any job that I was in, and this was just me, right? I needed that for myself, but I needed to know that I was making a difference, even if it was only for my fellow teammates, that I was doing something that mattered to me. So when I went into business, I wanted to make sure that my teammates were getting a similar concept. And I've always had a little bit of a struggle around that, because most of the people that we bring in have this idea of, okay, I'm here to do a job and get paid. And I'm always like, no, you're not here to collect a paycheck. You're here to make a difference in your life. All right? And a paycheck is great, and yes, we're going to pay you, but that's not why you're here. You're here to learn something. You're here to leave a little better than you came. And the longer you stay, hopefully the more you'll learn, the more you'll grow. And that's what lean is really all about. So I just thank you for listening to me today. If you got value from this episode, please remember to like it, share it, subscribe. And I'm just going to leave you with this one quote.
My saying is, hard work can take you somewhere, but lean can take you anywhere.